So today we discuss about inheritance in Java. Inheritance, inheritance in Java. So what do you mean by inheritance? So the simple definition is inheriting the property, inheriting the property from one class to another class. Another class is called inheritance. So what do you mean by that? Suppose you have a class A. Suppose you have class A and there are some properties is called color green. Color green. Then you have class B which is red. So if you want to inherit this green color from A to B, so you have to form an inheritance. So here you want to inherit color B. Okay, so you have to process inheritance. So the definition is telling that, saying that inheriting the properties from one class to another class is called inheritance. So from one class to another class, if we want to inherit some properties, then it is called inheritance. Okay, in order to inherit class to class, we use keyword extend. So when we inherit some property from one class to another class, then we use the keyword, what it is the name of the keyword, extend. Okay, we use this keyword extend. So when we inherit some property from one class to another class, then we use extend. But when we want some properties from uh, interface to class, so the second one is when we inherit some properties from interface to class, then we use the keyword, what is the keyword is implement. So here we learned that if we want to inherit some properties from one class to another class, then we have the keyword, what is the keyword name? Keyword name is extend. But if we want to inherit some properties from interface to class, then we have another keyword. What is the name of that keyword? The keyword name is implement. Okay, now the definition itself is called that there is one class which give the properties and there is another class which take the properties. Okay, so one class give the give properties, and there is another class, that class take the given properties. So the class which is giving the property is called parent class or superclass. So the class which is giving the property is called what? Superclass. And the class which is take the property is called which class? Is subclass. So in Java there are two type of class in inheritance. one is superclass, another one is subclass. So the class which is giving the property is called, or providing the properties is called superclass, and the class which is take the property or receiving the properties is called subclass. The class which is giving the properties or providing the properties is also known as parent class, and the class which is taking the properties or receiving the properties is called, this is also called parent class, and the class which is take the property or receiving the property is called also the child class. So here we know that there are two type of class in inheritance. One who is giving the properties is called parent. Subclass, not subclass, it is called superclass. Parent class, first it is called parent class, it is called superclass, it is called parent class, it is called superclass, and the class which is taking the property is called child class, or it is called subclass. Okay, now there are five type of inheritance is there. Which are those? So there are total five types of inheritance in Java or OOPS. Okay, so there are total five types of inheritance in Java. Which are those? Those are single level inheritance. First one is single level inheritance. First one is what? First one is number one, single level inheritance. SINGLE, single level inheritance. TANC, single level inheritance. It is one child and one parent. Okay, we detail discuss is later. Second one is hierarchical inheritance. HIERARCHICAL, hierarchical inheritance, TANC. It will discuss we later. Now the third one is multiple inheritance. Multiple inheritance, TNC. So this is multiple inheritance. Multiple means what? We discuss it later. Now the fourth one is hybrid multi-level inheritance. Multi-level LEVL inheritance. Multi-level means what? So multiple inheritance is defined by, not defined by that. Multiple inheritance is defined by this only. Multiple inheritance defined by this. Multiple inheritance, this is multiple inheritance. Multi-level inheritance is defined like that way. This is multi-level inheritance, so there are multiple level. Okay, now the last one is what? The last one is hybrid inheritance. Hybrid inheritance. So these are the total five type of inheritances. They are hybrid inheritance. This is the combination of hierarchical and multi-level inheritance. Okay, this is the combination of hierarchical inheritance and multi-level inheritance, hybrid inheritance. We discuss it one by one later. Now the question is the question is why 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 we need inheritance. The question is why we need inheritance. Why we need inheritance? Because suppose you write lots of code for one program, you write lots of code for one program for developing such a dashboard, okay, for developing such a dashboard. Now this dashboard you want to include in another page, you want to include in another page this dashboard. So for that dashboard you write lots of code, and for that page also you have two options: write this dashboard code and also write this page code. This is the one option. The second option is inherit this dashboard code you have to inherit and include it in this page. So there are two options, this is second option and this is one option. So one option will take more time and more effort, that's why we perform inheritance. So the main purpose of performing inheritance in Java is code reusability. Always remember, the main purpose of inheritance is code reusability. Code reusability, this is the main purpose of inheritance. So why we need inheritance? For code reusability we need inheritance. Now we discuss single level inheritance. Single level inheritance we will discuss here. Later we will discuss multi level inheritance or hierarchical inheritance. So today we will discuss about single level inheritance. Single level inheritance. So what do you mean by single level inheritance? As the name suggests, there are no multiple level, there is only one single level. That's why it is called single level inheritance. So that single levels means there is one superclass. Superclass. So what do you mean by superclass? The class which is providing the property is called superclass, and that superclass providing properties will receive by one subclass. That's the single level inheritance. So single level inheritance, if we write the definition, one subclass inheriting the property from only one superclass. Here you see that is the superclass and that is the subclass. So one subclass is receiving the properties from one superclass, okay. So if we write the definition, one subclass inheriting the properties from only one superclass is called single level inheritance. So single level inheritance means one superclass providing the property and one subclass receiving the property. So one subclass inheriting the properties from only one superclass is called single level inheritance. If we give some example, suppose there are one father, okay, father, and he has two car. Now this child, there is one child, okay, this child is also inheriting these two car, okay, the properties of father, okay. That's why it is called single level inheritance. So now we write the code and understand So now we write code here, after that we will use it in our VS Code. Okay, so class name, so I use class name father. Okay, father. So this is the parent class father. Okay, in parent class we have a static string. Earlier we will discuss about, I have discussed about the static, what is static, what is non-static. So static string, string static string car. Okay, car, and the car is car. Okay, car. Now there is a static method. Now there is also a static void. Void means which does not return anything. So there is a home. Okay, and this home has simple system. SOP means what? SOP means system out dot twinkling. So 10-acre home. Okay, 10-acre home. And now we close this class. Now this class, this father class is inherited by one son class. Okay, now we make son class in red color or blue color. With blue color we will use. So class son. So this son class will inherit the father class. So previously I will told that when we inherit from class to class, then we use the keyword as extend. So here son is extending the class father. Okay, the class father, father. Okay, now in the father class he also have own car. Okay, static string car 2, this is nano car, nano, Tata Nano. Okay, and static void home 2, this is the method he have, and he have simply 1-acre home. Okay, 1-acre home. Now as this place is not here, so we write it here. Now we write here. So here we declare, here we close the class, and here we declare our, after that this is not here, so after that we will declare the main method. Okay, after that we will declare the main method. So to declare main method we write public static void main, and under this we write string args. Now if we want to print SOP the car, or if we want to print or call the home method, then only we can do it, because the son is extending the father class. Okay, that's the total class of single level inheritance. Here we write a code for single level inheritance. Thank you.